Hello everyone! Today we are going to put movie scripts to a massive test. I have gathered the top 5 cosmic threats from popular sci-fi movies to recreate them in a simulator and see what will happen to Earth according to the laws of real, ruthless astrophysics. Only pure mass, immense speed, and impact energy. We will be raising the stakes level by level. Let's start with the first level, the terrifying meteor shower from the movie Greenland. Then we will move on to the second and drop the legendary Texas-sized stone monster from Armageddon onto Earth. On the third level, we will check if the 9-kilometer Dibiasky comet from Don't Look Up is truly that fatal. On the fourth, we will crash the comet from Deep Impact straight into the Atlantic Ocean. To witness the birth of a mega-tsunami. And for the finale, the fifth level, we will step outside the box and hit the planet with the Death Star superlaser from Star Wars to watch absolute chaos. And here's a little spoiler for you. Harsh physics turned out to be much more brutal and spectacular than any movie. Get comfortable, we are launching the first level. On the first level, we have the movie Greenland. According to the plot, Earth is attacked by countless fragments of a comet named Clark, foreshadowing a global apocalypse. By the way, the creators of the movie made a very smart scientific move. Clark is an interstellar comet, arriving from outside our solar system. Such guests are not tied to the sun's orbit, therefore their speed is almost unpredictable, and spotting them in advance is incredibly difficult. Before dropping the main piece on us, let's check. Is the planet capable of surviving the initial meteor shower? In the simulator, I created this terrifying swarm of fragments, which right now is inevitably approaching the night side of the planet from the direction of South America. Let's look at the numbers that we are dealing with. Each of these rocks in the swarm has a radius of 37.6 meters. It seems like not that much, right? Especially on the scale of an entire planet. But don't be fooled. Remember the famous Chelyabinsk meteor? Its size was only about 20 meters, but the shockwave from the explosion blew out windows in thousands of buildings. And here, we have thousands of objects, twice as big. Moreover, they are rushing towards us at an insane speed, 29.4 kilometers per second. That is more than 100,000 kilometers per hour right now. Just a moment before the disaster, the average temperature on Earth is a calm 5.7 degrees Celsius. The planet is sleeping and doesn't even suspect what is coming. The fragments pierce the atmosphere, like a machine gun burst. This is where harsh physics comes into play. At such speed, the air in front of the rock simply doesn't have time to part. Colossal aerodynamic pressure builds up. The rocks literally smash into the atmosphere, like hitting a concrete wall, heating up to thousands of degrees and breaking apart into fine, deadly shrapnel. Hundreds of glowing orange dots instantly flash across the surface, covering Africa, a huge part of Eurasia, and reaching all the way to Australia. Each of these flashes is a localized end of the world. Cities wiped off the face of the Earth, and seismic shockwaves capable of tearing down mountains. Massive tsunamis have flooded coastal cities. The system is already registering the changes. The average temperature on the planet has sharply jumped to 7.49 degrees Celsius, but that was just a warm-up. Look at this giant, dense wave of debris that is literally ramming into the planet. All that monstrous kinetic energy turns into heat, creating a colossal zone of continuous fire. At the epicenter of this impact, the Earth's crust simply cannot withstand the stress and melts, turning entire regions into a massive boiling ocean of magma. Because of this massive barrage, the global average temperature reaches the mark of 7.50 degrees. The sky is entirely covered with ash and dust. Let's assess the scale of the disaster. The entire Earth is now dotted with glowing craters, which shine in the dark like a terrifying network of blood vessels. The planet is covered with thousands of fiery scars. But you know, what is the most surprising thing in all of this? Despite this visual nightmare, structurally, the Earth held up. Its mass hasn't changed by a single gram, and gravity is still securely holding this rocky sphere together. The movie didn't lie. A meteor shower deals colossal damage to the biosphere, wipes all life from the surface, but it doesn't destroy the planet itself as a celestial body. The Earth survived, but it's too early to celebrate, because all this time, gravity has been pulling in something much bigger. Right now, approaching this scarred, burning Earth, here it comes. The main fragment of the Clark Comet, capable of piercing right through the Earth's crust. It's time for the second part of Level 1. Let's launch the Planet Killer. The meteor shower that we just survived was just a light cosmic warm-up, a terrifying trailer for the main disaster. Meet Clark, that very devastating comet fragment from the movie Greenland, which is meant to put an end to human history. Let's look at the data panel in our simulator. The radius of this chunk is 14.5 kilometers, which means its diameter is almost 30 kilometers. Just so you understand the scale of the impending horror, the famous Chicxulub asteroid, which forever wiped the dinosaurs off the face of the Earth, was almost 3 times smaller. And this behemoth, the size of a giant metropolis, is now ominously looming over the night side of South America. Clark crashes into the continent at immense speed. Because of its colossal size, it doesn't just vaporize on the surface, it crushes the Earth's crust and completely shatters the South American tectonic plate. The rapidly expanding gray-brown ring is millions of tons of pulverized rock and dust. The shockwave rips open the ground, and giant fragments are thrown into open space in all directions from the epicenter. Pieces of rock the size of entire mountains. The rock thrown into space doesn't just disappear. Under the influence of gravity, it rains back down in a fiery downpour. Look at the night side of the planet. It is instantly covered with dozens of blindingly bright flashes. This is a massive secondary bombardment. The red-hot mantle erupts outward through the newly formed cracks. Explosions of such incredible force that they repaint an entire hemisphere in blazing yellow-orange tones. The planet is literally bursting at the seams. The Earth is completely, without a single gap, enveloped in a dense, impenetrable cloud, made of red-hot ash, vaporized water, and toxic gases. Right now, our planet looks more like a terrifying nebula, glowing in the dark. Sunlight will not break through this veil for many, many years. Level 1 is complete. The biosphere is completely scorched. There is no salvation. But the planet itself, as a ball of rock, has held up. Gravity is still holding it together. However, it's too early to relax. On the second level, a Texas-sized asteroid from the movie Armageddon awaits us. That is the one that will truly test the Earth's durability. Next up is the legendary movie Armageddon. According to the plot, an asteroid the size of Texas is approaching us, or, as they called it in the movie, the global killer. In the simulator, the role of this monster is played by the object Cheroklo, whose dimensions perfectly fit the movie script. Let's look at the data panel. Its radius is 0.157 Earth radii. That is about 1,000 kilometers, meaning a solid rocky continent with a diameter of 2,000 kilometers is flying right at us. Next to it, the fragment from Greenland seems like a mere grain of sand. In the movie, tough drillers manage to blow up the asteroid from the inside, right before it crosses the zero barrier. But here, we have harsh physics. No miraculous rescues are foreseen. Upon contact with an object of this size, no crater is formed. Such a colossal amount of kinetic energy is released that the entire Earth literally explodes with blinding white light, turning into something like a miniature supernova. The simulator sensors go crazy. The The temperature at the epicenter of this primordial flash breaks the mark of 7,000 degrees Celsius. The shockwave tears off the Earth's crust like a thin eggshell. The planet cannot absorb that much energy, and a giant glowing ring made of trillions of tons of vaporized rock, magma, and the remains of the asteroid itself scatters into open space at the speed of sound. Let's wait for this white halo to dissipate and look at the aftermath. What is left of the Earth is impossible to recognize. The entire surface has turned into a single boiling ocean of magma. The temperature of this hellish cauldron has locked in at 797 degrees. The oceans didn't just evaporate, the water disintegrated into atoms, and the atmosphere was completely ripped away. But pay attention to the physical parameters. Because of the monstrous force of the impact, the Earth has physically shrunk. The mass of the planet dropped to 0.977. More than 2% of our globe was permanently thrown into open space. If we look at the readings, almost 3 months after the impact, the timer shows June. The Earth is still a pulsating ball of magma, with an average temperature of almost 800 degrees. The oceans evaporated without a trace. The atmosphere turned into a hellish steam room. And now, let's fast forward the simulation just 10 years ahead. No millennia needed for recovery. The planet has cooled down to 63 degrees Celsius, and we see something astonishing. All that monstrous mass of water suspended in the atmosphere rained back down, but the continents are gone. The impact and subsequent melting completely smoothed out the Earth's crust, turning the Earth into a perfect, endless, dark blue water world. Right now, it is literally a global hot tub without a single patch of land. A collision with an object the size of Texas is a complete reset button for the planet. The Earth survived, the water returned, but the past history is wiped clean. Well, we have tested the absolute limit of durability, and now let's see what happens if the threat is not as huge, but much more realistic. Moving on to Level 3, the 9-kilometer Dibiasky Comet from the movie Don't Look Up, launching the simulation. After the total annihilation from the previous scenario, let's return to the threats that worry real scientists the most. Next up is the movie Don't Look Up and the infamous Dibiasky Comet. Let's look at the parameters in the simulator. The radius of this icy killer is 8.66 kilometers, meaning it is a solid chunk almost 17 kilometers across, and it is rushing towards us at an insane speed, over 40 kilometers per second. By cosmic standards, this is the perfect, classic size to trigger a global extinction. In the movie, the characters refuse to believe in the reality of what was happening until the very end. But we are going to face the facts. The comet crashes right into the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, off the coast of Africa. At such speed, the water simply cannot provide any resistance. The object instantly vaporizes an entire sector of the ocean, right down to the bottom, and forcefully rips open the tectonic plate. Look at this monstrous explosion. Kinetic energy hurls billions of tons of red-hot rock and steam straight into the stratosphere and open space. These fiery splashes scattering across the entire planet are red-hot ejecta, which right now is crashing down on neighboring continents, with a hail of fire and kilometer-high tsunamis. And now, let's catch our breath and look at the final result of the simulation. The Earth is completely consumed by a dense, ominous orange cloud. This is not just a beautiful fog. This is a deadly mixture of ash, dust, and water vapor, which has completely blocked out the sunlight. The sensors show that the global temperature has jumped to 7.91 degrees Celsius. But pay attention to the system parameters. Mass, exactly 1 Earth. Radius, unchanged. The planet didn't even flinch. It easily survived this impact. But for the biosphere, the game is over. A blocked sun means an inevitable and harsh impact winter, lasting for many decades. The movie turned out to be frighteningly accurate. The ball of rock will keep orbiting the sun, but for humanity, it is the end of the line. Well, we have seen the total dust cloud, but the oceans are still there. Moving on to Level 4, the movie Deep Impact. It is time to make a mega-tsunami. The movie Deep Impact. This time, we have the famous Wolf-Biederman comet. And we are not going to hit the land, but straight into the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, exactly as it was intended in the movie. Let's look at the data panel of the simulator. Before us is a massive object with a radius of exactly 11 kilometers, meaning its actual diameter is 22 kilometers. And this mountain is flying towards us at a terrifying speed of 45 kilometers per second. In the movie, this impact caused a mega-tsunami, which washed away the coastlines of entire continents. Let's check how pure physics will play out. The comet crashes right into the ocean, west of the coast of Africa. At such extreme speed, the 4-kilometer depth of the Atlantic is just a thin, wet film to it. Look at the screen at the moment of impact. The comet doesn't even have time to slow down. It instantly punches through the water right to the bottom and devastatingly tears open the tectonic plate. A colossal explosion occurs. The epicenter flashes with a blinding white light, and hundreds of red-hot fragments fly off in all directions. The monstrous kinetic energy turns into pure fire. The deafening impact instantly covers the African continent with a massive secondary meteorite bombardment. And now, look at the aftermath. At the impact site, a giant dark crater yawns in the ocean, surrounded by the red-hot edges of the shattered crust. This is a massive sector of the Atlantic that has boiled and completely evaporated. The planet is rapidly engulfed by a dense, ominous orange-brown cloud. This is a hellish mixture of billions of tons of water vapor, dust, and ash thrown into the stratosphere. The Earth has held up again. Its basic parameters haven't changed. But for the biosphere, this is a scenario of global flood and fire. First, a wall of mega-tsunamis, kilometers high. Then, a rain of blazing ejecta. And in the finale, an extreme greenhouse effect from the evaporated ocean, which will turn the planet into a scalding steam room. 4 movie disasters are behind us, but ahead of us is the grand absolute finale. Level 5. We are putting asteroids aside and rolling out the Death Star superlaser. Welcome to the final, 5th level. Asteroids and comets are spectacular, of course, but the laws of gravity saved the Earth from complete disintegration every single time. It is time to cast the rocks aside and strike with pure energy. Meet the Death Star superlaser. First, I did a test shot. Take a look. I am firing a standard, super powerful red laser. The beam cuts through the crust. Magma boils. The oceans evaporate in seconds. It is the end for the biosphere. But our stubborn planet is still holding its shape. For the finale, this is not enough. Let's change the settings to the canonical green beam, cranking the power up to an insane 2,600 solar luminosities. That is the energy of thousands of our suns concentrated in one point. Unpausing. Fire! The Earth doesn't just melt, it absorbs the energy and glows from the inside. Monstrous radiation pressure tears giant chunks of rock straight into space. A blazing white core forms around the epicenter, but gravity, with its last ounce of strength, clings to this sphere and prevents it from falling apart. Hollywood demands a spectacle? We are going all in. I am doubling the power to almost 5,000 suns. Goodbye, Earth. Absolute annihilation. The gravitational bond is broken. The planet cannot withstand the pressure and explodes from within. No mantle, no core, no orbit. Only a colossal white-blue cloud of plasma rapidly flying into the void. The simulator did not disappoint. Pump enough energy into a planet and it will disappear spectacularly. Alderaan is avenged. If you enjoyed this destruction, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know which movies to test next. See you!